let's tell everyone what the truth is, okay? Let's just tell them the truth.
Okay, well, this is the train of truth, even though you don't have your soundboard.
I don't have my soundboard. You all can probably tell that we sound a little different. It's because we're doing a little remote recording.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else was allowed to remote work for years and years, and some still are, so why can't we?
Why can't we? But you know what? Many podcasts, so the Watch What Crappens guys, this is what they do. They are not together.
Do they not live in the same place?
I think they both live in Los Angeles, but like it takes an hour to get to each other. So they're like, screw it. We'll just do it in our own apartments.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing today. And it's for a multitude of reasons, but mostly you and I have been unwell.
Yeah.
And we're still unwell. I've been on an antibiotic for however many days. You've been doing the Dayquil, the NyQuil.
Yeah. It's just a cold, and I know that it hasn't gotten to like the bronchitis pneumonia stage because, and I know people are going to really care about this, the phlegm has not turned that bright green,
Yes,
boogery, color. It's still clear. Thank you, Wiley. Working from home, am I right?
these kids.
Morgan and Amanda will relate. But I know that it hasn't gotten too bad, which is why I hadn't bothered Leanna with like, can you write me a CPAC?
Yeah.
But it's been a full week of feeling like just a bad cold.
Yes.
I'm over it.
You said you and Lily got hit. I feel like each person in my family has been hit one way or the other with whatever this is. But I told you, I think I got whatever it is you had a couple of months ago where it was like the back of your throat and then connected to your ear.
Yeah.
Right? Right. And here when you went in and they blasted your ear.
Yeah. And they finger blasted my ear. That was wild. And yeah, it was this very acute pain. Yeah. And when I started to get sick a week ago, I felt it again. And I was like, no, not this again. I cannot do it again.
No.
But luckily enough, it switched sides. So now I don't have to worry about, that 2.0 version. And it's not really as bad. And it's not affecting the ear. It's just really in the throat.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And I'm alive to hear about sickness.
I know you know what, y'all? 'Tis the season. And so we had to sit down and figure out how we could do this because this won't be the last time that we need to remote record. Let's be clear.
Let's be clear, Karen Huger. It will not be the last time that we have to remote record, but it's either this or we don't have podcasts next week to release it. And so does that make us heroes? Yes, obviously. Thank you so much. If you want to Venmo us tits, always open and ready to receive those for our duties here.
Maybe I should put our Venmo in our show notes. I should just throw it in there. And
why not? People close to putting it in our bio, on our Instagram page.
As you said, this could only be a passion project for so long.
It can only be a passion project for so long. Right now, we're just trying to cover our payments for the Absolutely Not cruise. Little by little.
But y'all,
fire content.
It's going to be such great content, and I think people will want to see. They'll want to have the behind the scenes. They're going to want to know all of it. And we will deliver, as we always do.
Always.
Okay, but y'all, so we got on here 45 minutes ago, and we're like, okay, we're going to record. I had told her, get your laptop, pull it up on the browser. It's going to be better quality if we do it that way. And we have been through hell and back to get this working.
Okay. In my defense, I did buy my laptop on, what is that site called where you buy Groupon? Okay. So I did buy this laptop.
You bought a MacBook on Groupon.
Yes. I bought this here laptop on Groupon. Okay. It's so old that these stickers you got me a million years ago for Christmas of Princess Diana are so faded, you can barely make them out anymore. Okay. And
so it was already a Groupon laptop, but now it's also super old.
So it's so old that when I tried to download this Riverside where we're recording this through, Riverside itself was like, this computer cannot handle our new technology. This isn't revolutionary technology. This computer is just that old. It can't handle the technology. It said your Mac iOS has to be this version or older. Mine was 0.5 older in defense. It was, but it couldn't do it. It just could not open. So then I had to call my husband. Well, I had to call my husband and ask in the room if he has, where is his computer? Because I knew we had bought him this computer last year.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, where is it? And he had just cleaned our room last night, like deep cleaned, vacuumed, wiped down the baseboards, like everything.
Aww.
So it wasn't where it usually was. And so I open it and I'm like, of course, he has the painter's tape over the camera because Joshua is nothing if not consistent with the conspiracy of the government is watching and listening to us do everything.
Yes.
We also have we have the dumbest house in the world. I posted a reel about this recently because I think a lot of people have like the Nest and you can control even your air conditioning and your heat from your phone and you have cameras inside your house and you have Alexas that turn off your lights and you have we have zero things. There is nothing technological in this house. We still control the AC and the heat by our fingers.
Okay, we do too. I will say we're like a medium dummy house. We have Alexas that can do a few light switches. It can turn on a Christmas tree here or there. But what I would love if we can control the AC and the heat on that. I would be delighted. I would also like shades. I would like blinds that I could push a button on my phone and just let the light in the morning and shut it down at night. I would love that. But it's just those things take a lot of time. And as we have learned here this morning, technology is difficult. But we did figure out what your camera problem was.
Right. So I wanted to preface it with how dumb my house is means I'm dumb. Means I'm dumb too. So we're going through all this. We've logged into Riverside because his computer is new enough to actually do that.
Yes.
Logged into Riverside, but the camera will not come up. And Kristen is on her phone and we're FaceTime and we're trying to figure out what is this? Troubleshoot, go to the search, do this, do that, do this. And I mean, we did this for 40 minutes. We did it for 40 minutes. I tried, I reloaded, I X'd out. And then what I'm reading to her during this final troubleshooting portion is I'm just now reading the screen out loud.
Yeah.
Okay, this. And I finally say, just switch, like move this thing over on the camera, like above the lens on the computer.
It said, make sure the camera switch is turned to on. So you as you're prattling on, just listing, I hear you say that. Mm-hmm. And I think, hold on. So as you're talking, I Googled that. Well, what does that mean for an HP? And sure enough,
she holds her phone and she goes, what about this little thing? Do you see it still in there?
Yes.
Hold it up to the camera. She goes, is there a little thing above the actual lens that looks like a little button that just moves over? And I'm like, well, hold on, let me turn on the light. And I just on the light and I see it. I see the little thing. And you just go, oh, and she goes, now I can see you.
You had been doing all this in the dark.
I did it all
I don't see anything on your screen. Like,
in my defense, I had the window light coming in. That is better light than a harsh overhead light.
Yeah.
I want it to look pretty. It was more important to look pretty on no camera than to look not as pretty on camera, apparently.
But this lighting still looks great to me. It's not casting shadows at all.
Great. Well, we have very high ceilings. No. I wasn't going to build a big house, but I was going to build a high house.
Yeah.
And a dumb house. And a very dumb house. So I have nothing that I can control through an app on my phone in this entire home. And we are still switching on cameras with a little thing.
With a little just switch. So you found the switch, you turned it on, and there you were.
And here I am, and we now can get into the meat and potatoes of this here podcast. we might sound a little bit, I sound nasally. You sound great.
Yeah, I mean, it's still draining. I have my drink here. And, we can't promise how long this week's episodes are going to be because our voices are just not going to make it. It's just not going to make it.
No.
And you have a big day ahead of you. Tonight is Lily's big performance. It's incredibly important that you can talk to people and flit about. And also, we like to woo. We like to woo at events.
We need to save our voices for the important things. And can this be a PSA, please? Because it is still going to be a little bit of cruise content coming to y'all because more things have come to my brain.
Yeah.
This is important. At the Aqua show and at the All In show.
Yes.
Any show y'all go to, I do want y'all to know this. Performers, back in the day, I think we waited till the end and we did a proper golf clap.
Sure.
But I have now been in this kind of circus life for years. And what I have found out from these performers, at least these kinds of performers, is that they want you to woo and clap and be impressed and be amazed and vocalize that throughout the performance.
Okay.
No longer do you need to wait until the end to just do one proper clap. If they do something crazy and it moves you, you are absolutely allowed to go, wow, yeah,
Yes.
I love that. So
Okay, because you and I naturally do that.
Yes.
And I feel that the girlies we were with on the cruise, we're all doing that. But when you think about that all-in performance, only our 2 rows were making any sounds. And at some points, I would look down at all the people on the front rows, and they're just unmoved, completely unmoved. Yeah, like that.
They're like this. They're sitting disinterested, and these people are giving their all. Same with a Broadway show. I have asked the actors and actresses and singers afterwards at stage door, do you like when we do it? Because I can't help myself. They're like, oh my God, please, yes. If someone is belting out, wait for the note to end, of course, but then you are absolutely allowed to do that. And so please start doing that more because once you do it, other people can do it too. It gives them permission to do it as well. Maybe they don't know, but it's 2024 and we are now allowed to woo.
We are allowed to woo. And also, if I am listening to something that has vocal performance and music, I am like this. You know this about me. I cannot not move. I am swaying. I am tapping. I might even have my hands up a little bit.
Yeah.
I have to be moving and grooving.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you've asked them that because I have thought that before, would that be distracting in some way? Because it's not me trying to be like, I'm the main character. It's just me. I love music. I love performance. I love the arts. It is the year of the arts.
Yeah.
And so that's good to hear that they want that they am like that.
They do. They want it. And there are certain, I think, shows like the Anne Juliettes and the Moulin Rouges where it's popular songs. You know them, right? Because it's a jukebox musical. So you're even allowed to kind of be singing along. Now, what they do say is don't sing so loud that the people around you can't hear the performer singing.
Yes. And I will say that when it's, okay, Hamilton, for example.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of times. I do not sing along with them. Am I grooving like this? Yeah, I'm grooving. Am I wooing after like the rap battle? Yes, I'm going to woo. But I don't sing along because I have heard people complain about that. And I actually thought about that because we're going to see Wicked next week.
Yeah.
And
have you seen all the reviews coming out about the audiences?
Yes, where it's like people can't enjoy the actual musical performances because everyone else is in the audience is singing at the top of their lungs.
Yes. And we can't, and because we know all the words to that as well, we are going to have to stifle ourselves and be polite and respectful. And I do think, and the movie theaters do this, I know that they do it for some Disney movies where it's intentionally a sing-along performance.
Yes. Yeah, and they do that for Wicked. I know they will. They will.
So, but people need to be cognizant of that. If it's not specifically a sing-along, we are there to hear Cynthia and Ariana. We are there to listen to their vocal stylings, their performances.
Yes.
So we need to be quiet. But absolutely, in a sing-along performance, you can. But when you're in a live show, just know that you should not be singing loud enough for people around you to hear. You should just be moving and grooving, but that you are allowed to woo. Yeah. And the performers enjoy it. So tonight, when we are at Lily's third performance and she hits the split, woo! She comes down, she wheels down out of whatever the thing is. And let me tell you, the dress rehearsal was last night, and I cried the entire way throughout. I have no clue how I'm going to make it through tonight.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, how many, like, is she in lots of different points in the show?
You get one song, one performance in these shows, basically. Like, this is a student showcase, so each student gets to do their one part. Now, when the instructors do their showcase, a lot of times it has a theme, and so they're doing several things, and they're kind of mixing and matching and stuff. But for the students, you get one song, one performance, and you have to, like, nail it. So there's a lot of pressure to, like, not mess up in your one thing because there's no redemption. There's no stuff. Yeah. So she's feeling nervous, but so excited. And
I can't wait.
They sold like 200 tickets, and I'm pretty sure like 15% are from people coming to see her. So they love us.
She is. She's going to have a big crowd because between us and the Van Gosbecks, that's 7 people right there.
Yeah, and then my sister, my parents, Sarah Verardo, and her kids. Like, she has I know.
That's so nice. Sarah's coming. I love that.
It's so nice. Her girls are going to love it. Like, it's really going to be good for kids to see her in there because everyone else will be an adult because she's in the adult program. So she'll be the only kind of kid. And the people who practice with her are like, God, you make us feel so old because she was born in 2009. Like, they can't even believe it. But I mean, she's just a little 15-year-old. But she's in the adult program. So it's really cute. I'm so excited for tonight, but we do need to have our voices.
We have to have our voices. We could not do a marathon recording today. There was just no, like, all the signs were pointing to no. And as we say, that's a complete sentence. And y'all will hear on my wow what my wow is from this week. And boy, oh boy, did I say wow when it happened yesterday. So we'll get to that on Thursday. You know what happened yesterday?
Well, I know what happened yesterday. And do you want to give an update on Mimi since we talked about her just 2 weeks ago?
Yes. Oh, let me do that. Yes. Okay, you guys, real quick. And thank you for reminding me. We had just talked about Mimi. So you guys, you know that I had
trade the blow drying, the whole thing.
Yes, that Mimi went into shock. And we had to do all the things to revive her. But kind of with that, when I told that story, is that she had been kind of sick and messy, and that's why Matt had washed her in the first place. We have been battling this with her for a year or more. She's been on antibiotic after antibiotic, much like you and I. And just trying to get at what we think was, UTIs or bladder infections. What I ultimately think is that she must have had some kind of underlying bigger thing going on. Yeah, was causing these back to back. Because as soon as one would clear up and we think we're good, 2 weeks later, here it comes again. And we could smell it. We would walk in the room and know. Yeah. And so the smell filled the room.
Oh, well, that's right. And Jackie did give us permission to share. So,
yeah. So he will be sharing that soon. Yeah. So when I was coming back from the Greenbrier this past Monday, 4 days ago, I get a text from Matt saying, Mimi is not well. I walked in. I knew something was going on. I brought her out. I cleaned her up. I was doing the whole washing, cleaning thing. But he said this time she was really limp during it. She wasn't fighting it, and usually she does. She just was not giving anything. And he texted me and was like, I just need you to be prepared that she's maybe not going to make it even by the time you get home. So sweet Matt, God bless this man. He's going to be one of my 2 things for today. But he was checking on her, making her comfortable, getting her clean. He'd pop his head in, take a look. And at one point, pops his head in and he looks to see if she's breathing, and she is not. So you guys, Mimi did not make it.
One of the critters is now gone.
One of the critters is gone.
Mama critter, right?
Yeah. Well, no, she was one of the two sisters, like the bunnies are sisters. And so I finally am more heartbroken for Pebbles
Yeah.
because, this was her person, and bunnies are social animals and they like to be together. And so we are really giving Pebbles a lot more attention.
Yeah.
Bringing her out, getting her with the kitten, holding her. Matt took her to school. Like the other morning, Pebbles rode with them to school. And he brought her down the hallway to like meet the teachers. I swear to you, this man, like Matt is on another plane. He's on another level.
Yes.
So we're really trying to give Pebbles love and care. But I'll tell you what, as a mom, like those conversations are just so difficult when you know you're going to have to break the news to your kid.
Yeah.
I came home. We said goodbye to my parents. We pretty quickly had to tell Lachlan what was happening. And he was okay. He's 6.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll see her in heaven, And, of course, I'll have to play him that episode about pets in heaven.
Will we? Right. Will we? Huh.
But
We're not getting back into that. We are not delving back into that. I cannot handle any more heaven talk with anyone else.
No. So he was fine, and we said, yeah, bud, she's with Cotton on the other side,
Yeah.
And I truly got emotional about it 2 times. One, when I came in the room and was just talking with Matt about it, I got upset because I said, the problem with bunnies is you don't know when there's a problem. You don't know when there's pain because they don't emote. And so I felt bad. I thought, my God, if something was brewing in her that was so bad that it just killed her, was she in an incredible amount of pain? You know what I mean?
Woulda, shoulda, coulda, how are you to know if they don't cry and emote and little weepy and stuff? I mean, like lots of animals kind of can give us signs, but if they can't, how are you to know?
I know it. I know, and that's what
Had a great life while they were in your care. Could not have asked for better.
Yeah. I mean, and so that made me feel just bad. So I felt sad about that. And then, of course, when we had to tell the big kids, that was difficult. And Tristan was very logical about it. I thought he'd actually be more emotional. He was more logical. He said she was almost 5. Bunnies live about 5 to 7 years. I feel like, that's really great. He felt okay with it. But Tinsley, she took it hard. She took it hard. And I think part of that is just she is a girl who is 13 and she's feeling a lot of things all the time. And so, so any little thing, big or small, really kind of rock them unexpectedly. And I think that's sort of what was going on. But she was really sad.
But it's also the maternal instinct. Like, girls just have that natural maternal instinct. We are different. I mean, it just is what it is. And so I think for a lot of us, when it comes to mothering, taking care of, tendering, that's what we do. That's where we excel. And so it's just, I think it does hit as harder as girls and females and moms and everything. Because then you just can't help but put yourself, like, if this were my child, like, this is only my pet, like, and you just can't help. You can't help your brain to go there.
Can't help it. Absolutely. Yeah. Women are going to be much more tender in that way. And she was feeling it. But I was like encouraging her to just feel and cry. And it was really good because she kind of got all that out. And then the next day it was like we moved forward. So Matt was sweet. He dug the grave right next to Cotton, which is like really sweet, to kind of have them side by side. And our neighbor's cat, Bruno, came around again.
Well, Bruno is always there. Bruno walked into our recording.
He did. I think he's truly is just looking for food. But when Matt walked out with Mimi, like, there's Bruno. I'm like, he just knows. He knows when we're having like a hard time with animals, I think.
Yeah. And he says and gives you some extra love. But Bruno did meet Charlie and Chapel.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He also knows good music. I mean, obviously.
We haven't shared officially on the podcast the good news about our girls.
Oh, about their multiple Grammy noms?
Hello? Like, these ones the heck. So when are the Grammys? Because, like, should we watch this?
obviously, should we get dressed again as them and do all the cute reels that we needed to do that day that I totally forgot to do?
And I still have to post that video of you when you had the wig halfway off your head.
Oh,
And you looked like someone in a back alley smoking a cig.
yeah.
I looked like waiting for her next client. That's what you looked like.
It reminds me of, like the Disney characters, and they're just so prim and perfect and proper, as they're walking through the parks. And then you never see them because they're all in the underground tunnels. But every once in a while, a picture will come around where it's clearly someone dressed up as them, but like not at Disney.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from Halloween, or maybe it's from I know what it is. It's the people in Times Square who dress as these characters, and then you catch them in a back alley. You're right, ripping a cig because, they're just off the beaten path of Times Square, and someone takes a picture and is like, me on a Monday, whatever. That is what I look like. I look like the Chapel Roan version of a Times Square. I'm a Times Square Chapel Roan impersonator. That's what I was.
You are 100%. And y'all, this is going to be the best receipt ever. Was laughing so hard at filming you. And really, you were just in pain from the wig. It was the wig.
Well, what I realized days later when I couldn't figure out why my head was so tender to the touch, it was the tiara.
Yeah.
And I slid that on. It was pushing, but I thought it was the wig. All I needed to do was reposition the damn tiara, and I could have come back to life, back to reality. Boy, oh boy. But I've now learned, and next time I dress as Chapel for the Grammys, obviously, I will be better about where I put that tiara, and I will still have it because I did not return it. Thank you.
I think that was the right call. Everybody's tiara. There are so many times where it's some kind of dress up thing or some kind of funny haha thing, and you need a tiara, and so I think that was the right move.
I just have so many Princess Dianas that it feels gluttonous to keep now the quinceañera tiaras. That's all. I don't lack tiaras in my household is the thing.
I know.
Actually, you have my Diana tiaras in our.
Oh, but I do. I think I do.
You might, but I do feel like this is a perfect segue because I have something of yours. So if you are ready to get into the 2 and 2.
The 2 and 2. But real quick, let's just say, so Chapel Roan was nominated for 6 Grammys, Charlie XCX 9 Grammys. Like, y'all, they swept these categories. Like, they swept these categories, and these girls better win some stuff. And this is the one time I am going to give a little shade to Taylor Swift. I need her to back up.
Back up? Because
I need her to back up. Other girlies are here now. And so we need to let them have their moment because these records are that amazing and they do deserve the respect. And these women have worked so hard. And I'm not saying Taylor hasn't. I'm not saying that's not true. But it is time to let's have a moment in a different direction. Okay?
I do. Well, it's more just like for people who they only talk about Taylor, are you noticing that there's other amazing music coming out? See, you can just share the wealth. You just spread it around a little bit.
Please.
That's all we're saying. And that's what you were trying to encourage people to do. I don't know, a month ago, whenever it was for the millennial girls, right? It's like, don't cling so tight.
Yeah.
To yesteryear, to the annals of yesteryear. And come into today, give them a shot, and just see what you think. You might be pleasantly surprised. Like, I am really, really loving Sabrina Carpenter.
Love. Sabrina's so good. Well, and we also...
I would go to her concert. I would legit go to her concert.
I would go to her concert. I would go to a Dua Lipa concert in a heartbeat. And oh, I love Dua Lipa.
Yeah, that feels right for you.
Yeah. But you know what? You and I are really loving, and I don't think we've said it on the mic, we are really loving that Addison Rae song, Diet Pepsi.
Okay, Addison Rae's Diet Pepsi is
such
a bop. It is such a bop. And she only says Diet Pepsi one time in it. Dynamic gets a song about Diet Pepsi. It's not. So if you're a Diet Coke girly and you've really been wrestling with this, and I think some have.
I think they have.
I think they have because some people use Diet Coke as an entire personality. This is another thing. I have to. Sorry. I'm not yucking yum. hear me say it, I'm not trying to yuck someone's yum, but I do think that there are just times in our lives when I think people make inanimate objects their entire personality. And I just don't think it needs to be that dramatic.
Yeah, the Diet Coke is a really, really good example of that. A really good example of that.
It's really like, if someone goes, okay, name something about you that everyone knows. It's just like, name a fun fact that everyone knows. Like, oh, that is so this person. It's like, do you want Diet Coke to be the thing? I don't know.
I don't think so. But, I have a pro tip. Y'all, before you are going to make something your entire personality, buy a Croc charm for your Crocs and put that on your Crocs. And that is how you can put in the things into your life that you love. It could be a little Taylor Swift Croc charm.
Yeah.
It could be a little, for Tristan, a Rubik's Cube. Put that on your Crocs. Yeah. And let that lie a little bit is what I'm saying. Start there. And then if that's not enough, then maybe you're making reels about it and you're buying merch and all of that. But I think if everyone would just start with Crocs, we would stop oversaturating the market with this low base.
It's just funny to me. It's funny to me that it's built entire personalities. It's like people who don't like certain words, and everyone knows that about them. And it's just like, it's your whole personality. It's something. It's just something that I've been ruminating on, and I had to say it. And I get it because I don't drink it. So maybe if Diet Coke again brought me back to life, back to reality, maybe I would have a deeper passion for it. But I don't get it. I don't like the fake sweetener taste of anything. So it just couldn't be me.
It's always gonna be a Coke Zero for me. I do not like a Diet Coke. Diet anything tastes gross to me. However, they're making the Coke Zero. Now, I'm sure it's full of chemicals and it's terrible for you. And RFK Jr. is going to take care of that. So y'all drink up while you can because he's coming for your Diet Cokes and your Coke Zeros. Okay? Drink it while you can. Actually, y'all should go to Costco, get cases of it, and store it in your basis.
Stockpile that right now, but not the Croc charms you're saying. Just get the one. Get the one charm, but one pile of the actual.
I am full of good advice today. You're going to get one Diet Coke Croc charm. Then you're going to go to Costco. You're going to get pallets of Diet Coke. You're going to put them under your house. Okay? What's that called? The crawl space. You're going to put them in your crawl space. And just so that way, when RFK comes knocking, knock, 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 just like the Gestapo in the karaoke room, you can say, there's no Diet Coke here. They might have Coke sniffing down. I don't know.
Go check here, but not here. Not in these parts.
I'm just saying. I'm the king now. He's coming for I am the captain now. He wants your Lucky Charms. He wants your Doritos. He wants come and get it. Please come take it away from this here house. Yeah. Please stop Matt Timmerman from buying all the treats that he wants. Now, the man deserves treats. He does deserve the treats because he's doing the Lord's work. But yes, some of these ingredients, as Teresa would say, some of these ingredients are killing all of us. So that needs to stop.
And parents clearly aren't saying no. So if it takes RFK coming in here, guns blazing, saying, I'm going to do this now, because parents can't say no to their precious children, then here we are. Here we are. Okay.
What do you have of mine?
Okay, you won't believe it. You won't believe it. Okay. I'm going to hold up a prop. Because last night, again, as we were cleaning, so if Joshua starts to clean, that means we all have to clean.
Okay.
There's not going to be me sitting down and watching Bravo while Joshua is cleaning. And so I will putz around and look busy enough. Okay? Yeah. But I don't deep clean the way Joshua Miller deep cleans. As we've discussed, someone's coming over in 15 minutes, he's pulling out the oven, he's cleaning behind it.
Yes.
Right? So if he's starting to do all the things, I am now going to load the dishwasher. I'm going to do my usual things. But
I feel like for you, when you're going to deep clean is in the daytime.
Yeah. I'm doing that alone. I'm not going to because I don't want him watching and here's the deal. Joshua's a phenomenal cleaner. He's always going to do it better, more thorough, use the better products. So I don't want him kind of watching.
Yeah.
I don't want him looking. So I'm going to do my usual run-of-the-mill stuff that he doesn't touch anyway. And I'm going to leave the deep cleaning for him. So I'm not going to watch TV at the same time because I recognize his sacrifice in this way. I'm going to do my usual. So this is when I decide that there has been a bag of stuff from our swag bags on the pants. And apparently, I don't know if it was you or if it was me who put the remaining stuff on the swag bag. There was one swag bag that I used on the beach to carry my crap in.
Yeah.
And so all of that had to go somewhere.
Okay.
I remember we had eaten the Raisinettes.
Like, and I still found Raisinettes in my suitcase at Greenbrier. I found like 2.
No way.
I did.
Okay, so we had kind of picked through a little bit of one of these swag bags, which meant we had some of the extra stuff. And so I don't know if it did you put it in this white bag or did I put those random things in the white bag?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't remember anything.
So when we were power cleaning that night and packing up, like these are our leftover Christmas cards and all the things. And I guess I or you put it in this leftover white bag. So I'm starting to go through it last night and I'm like, oh, the Taco Bell seasoning.
Yes.
I can maybe put this in my pantry.
Yes.
When it's like I'm deciding what I'm going to keep of this and what you're going to take. You're obviously going to take the snail mucin masks.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm separating through this and I get down to the bottom of the bag. And ironically, when I saw this packet, this color caught my eye. Do you know why this color caught my eye and maybe there was something else this color in this bag? In this white bag?
Do not tell me that that's it. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. This is why I tried to FaceTime you last night.
I'm so glad we saved it for this. I have the chills.
Chills, me too.
I don't have my bell or anything I could ring.
Now that I have my camera on, you can see
my ornament, my magnet were in there too, right?
They sure are. They sure are.
Not that that matters as much, but like that's the bag.
I have this, and I have your ornament, and it was all in the bottom of this white bag that has been sitting in my home since we got back from the cruise, and I could have alleviated some of this for you, but did I go through it yet until last night when my husband finally, deep cleaned and I said I'll putz around and do my little things?
I am in shock. I wish I could know when we did this, who did it, where it went. Okay. So I'm having a flash.
Yes.
Did I have that bag and then put all of that in there? And then remember, I used your suitcase for a bunch of stuff.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And so you put that bag and put it in there. Maybe that's how
one half. Remember, though, here's what I'm confused by. Is that the one half of my suitcase where we put all of your things, where there's some of my things mixed in there? Because I believe that when we went to put it in the extra car in Charlotte, I was like, oh, that pink one's totally empty.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So then how did this get into my carry-on, which was already very full of stuff?
There's no way. I don't understand what's happening. This is weird.
I don't either. And I don't remember pulling this out of my carry-on and putting it on my table. But I had to have done that because the pink suitcase, after all the swag was removed and all of your stuff was removed,
it was empty.
It was empty. So the pink suitcase
was empty. I know that it was. Pull the footage from Charlotte Douglas. I want to see it.
So this had to have been in my carry-on, but I just don't recall. I know that I put some of this stuff, like this Ziploc bag. I don't know what was in here, but I remember putting these in there, but I just don't remember putting all this in this white bag or getting in my carry-on or this then being unloaded onto my kitchen table But last night, I decided to go through it, and all of your stuff is in here, so you can cancel your lost and found.
I know. These people are probably like, this woman is hammering us. We have not found it. So you know what, Royal Caribbean?
Apologies. But it means that if they did go back and look at the footage, they watched you, or me, I don't know, carry this out of that jewelry store. And
They thought we were trying to swindle them out of another jersey.
all these things that I was like, would people actually do that? Would people actually do that? And maybe they think you are.
You know what would have been nice, though, if they did pull that footage, for them to write and say, hey, we watched all the cameras and we can see you literally walk down the hall into your room holding the bag. Because then that would have changed things for us.
But it's wild because this was rolled up in such a small, tiny way that it was like so small that when I'm looking through this, there was enough stuff in here that I just didn't even, until I started really pulling it out. That's when I was like, wait a minute, I know that color. But the Taco Bell packet was on top of it.
It is. It's giving that. Oh my gosh.
It's the exact same color. So the Taco Bell packet was kind of on top of it like this. And I was so excited.
You must have been tickled.
I was so tickled. I FaceTimed you again. I texted you. I texted Matt. I could not wait to show y'all this. And you wouldn't call me back. You will not. You refused to call me.
It was too late. It was sexy time had already begun.
Friday Junior had already begun.
It was Friday Junior. I didn't even realize. Oh,
It was Friday Junior. You said, sorry, Matt's already putting the moves and the grooves on.
I still had my phone in my hand, but I'm like, sorry.
Why your phone's still in your hand as you're literally telling me that Matt is getting his groove on? What's going on? Leslie, you have some explaining to do. You're more into it. How much of a part of I was in your Friday Junior? I want to know.
It was literally him like grabbing me to go, and I'm like, hang on.
Okay, if that's the story and we're sticking to it.
But wait. Okay, I'll do one of my things. We have to tell people what Friends of Bill W is.
That was my second thing.
Oh, okay, then let's just do it. Jump into your second thing then.
Then my second thing is, y'all, okay, tell me this. This is another thing that is like a black hole in my brain.
Yes.
But did someone come to us weeks before the cruise, or was it at Disney and said, I feel like it was at Disney. Someone showed us the Royal Caribbean app. I don't know if it was Morgan.
I think it was Morgan or Josie. I think it was one of the two. And they were looking at the events, and we were talking about needing a private space. We're looking at all of these venues on the app, and then somebody finds,
it says and it's a public thing, so you can see it on the Royal Caribbean app, and it says Friends of Bill W. It's just a picture of chairs in a circle, very serene, and it says Friends of Bill W. And so someone was like, if Bill W. can get a private room with chairs, certainly we can. Yeah. We just need to go and ask, or maybe we'll bump into Bill W. and we'll say, hey, Bill, how'd you get this done? And then we started hemming and hawing about what could this even be? What could this even be?
Well, because I remember multiple times looking at that image and being like, that's exactly what we need. It's a really nice room. It's padded chairs in a circle. I'm sitting here going, how does Bill W., whoever that is, get this? And we have no access to this room. And that was what was crazy to me, is that it wasn't like Friends of Bill W. and party. It was Friends of Bill W. and here's a really nice room that they're going to set up.
Yeah, and that we only needed the two things, a room and seats.
Yeah.
We could handle the rest.
Yeah, so
okay, so sorry. Norman just need to come say hi.
Hey, Normie.
I don't know if people will be able to see. There's Wiley right there. And now Norman had to come say hi. Look at that face.
Look at that pure face. I will be screen grabbing that.
He's so beautiful.
Look, he looks like a saint. He's looking up at the light.
Look, he's a saint. He's a saint. He's the sweetest. They should clone this cat. This is the one to clone. Norman Orville Miller. Another lots of R's. Lots of R's, David. Norman Orville Miller. Anyway, so we're talking to them about this, and we're just kind of like, okay, well, who's Bill W? Who's Bill W? We just got to do what Bill W has. Okay. Then we joke about it on the ship. We're like, gosh, if we could only find Bill W. Then afterwards, we're talking about it on this here podcast.
Yeah.
And who was the first person to write you? Your sister?
It was my sister.
Of course, it was Sister Lauren. Took a minute from talking to Sister Jackie.
Just 1 minute.
Just one singular minute.
And, oh my gosh, look. Oh, with Lauren Palmer.
It was Lauren Palmer.
Okay, but wait. Stop the presses.
Okay.
Lauren Palmer on Halloween sent you and me a text.
Oh.
With this. This is what she sent us.
Yeah.
Right
Friends
here.
of LW. And what'd she say?
And she said, so this was Halloween. She just sent it.
Okay.
And then we said, we need these seats, Bill, please. And then you said, maybe Bill will become a podcast. And then Lauren said, y'all will swoon and bamboozle someone into giving you a room of something. I can feel it. So this was at 12:30. So we had all had this conversation. Lauren had found this. We said to her, will you screenshot that and send it to us? Because we might even use this to go to the concierge and say, Bill W has a room. Can we get a room?
So the funniest part about this is, had we gone when we were talking to Mila about this, had we had just asked, hey, well, we saw on the app, Friends of Bill W has a room. Could we do that? Then Mila would have probably told us what then Sister Lauren was the first to tell us, but now many have told us.
Oh, other people have told you?
Oh, wait till you hear the kicker, who I talked to on the phone 2 days ago about it. So Sister Lauren finally sends it to us. And again, Mila would have told us, by the way, Friends of Bill W is the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting on the ship. Yeah. So, crickets. Okay.
That's where I would push the cricket button. No, I might just insert it right there. That is where,
no.
that's where the AA meeting is. So I get an audio message from Sister Lauren the Friday after we returned from our trip.
Because we had released the episode wherein I believe our live recording.
Correct.
Where we made a joke. We made a joke about how, maybe we could get Bill W over here and tell us how he got a private room or something. We said something to the effect, and Sister Lauren was like, abort.
She says in her voice note, okay, I'm en route. I'm listening to the podcast. You guys are talking about Friends of Bill W. I heard you mention this on the day of the ship, but I learned what that was, and it did make me giggle a little. Maybe that makes me a terrible person. But anyway, Friends of Bill W is what they call AA meetings on cruise ships.
Yeah. So that's our bad. Okay. This is a correction. This is a public correction.
A retraction.
It's a retraction. It's a retraction, and it's a public service announcement. Again, we're teaching y'all so much on this podcast that Friends of Bill W is where you can go, and you can go to an AA meeting on a ship, since if that's part of your regular recovery process, or maybe you've just decided, like, this is it. I have an addiction. I need to find some help. They are on cruise ships. They are everywhere. And I now know way more about it because my father finally listened to that episode.
And he knew?
My dad's been in the program for 20 years.
He knew what Friends of Bill W specifically meant?
It's like one of the first things you learn.
I have never heard, and you had never heard it either. I find that odd. You know a lot about AA.
I sure do. But Friends of Bill W. So
Bill
W started AA. Bill W is the head of Alcoholics Anonymous.
So what did your dad say to you?
So my dad called me and was like, hey, man, I just wanted to let you know, Bill W. started AA, so Friends of Bill W. And I was like, we've heard. You're now the third person to tell me who Bill W. is, and I'm very sorry that I did not know. And my dad gave so much incredible intel. He was like, you can go, like, if you are walking through Vegas and you're walking through like a big reception hall, or, like where like all the different rooms are,
Yeah.
you might even see a plaque, like the nameplate or whatever that says Friends of Bill W. And that's where people will know to go to their meeting. So it won't say AA.
So it is. It's like a secret code, a secret society, because it is meant to be anonymous, and it is meant to be something where people can feel really comfortable doing it on the lowdown if they want.
So imagine if that room said AA meets here.
No.
Then it takes away the anonymous. But if you know that Friends of Bill W is for that, then you can just know where to go any place that you are. And another thing that he said is if you are at a bar and you're not drinking and someone else maybe is not drinking, that person may come up to you. And he said that this has happened countless times, that he's been traveling or whatever and orders his club soda and a lime. Someone will come up to him and they'll say, "Oh, are you Friends of Bill W?"
Oh, I love that.
And my dad can say, "Yes, I've been friends with him for 20 years.
Oh, I love that. Actually, I really love that.
Goosebumps, right?
Yeah, same.
That's so cool to think that like you have this camaraderie with people, and so then you can be like, "Oh, I've been friends with him for 3 months. I'm a new friend of his."
Is it bad that we're spilling this tea? Is that okay?
I asked him if we could talk about this, and he said, "You absolutely can talk about it, that it's not secret. But it's just for people in the program that they know what to look for when they are going somewhere."
Interesting. I mean, I gotta say, probably maybe the majority of people on that ship looking at the app would not have any clue what that meant. And they would have thought this is a gathering for a special group on the boat, right?
Exactly. And it is.
Yeah.
But only they know. I did ask him, but I said, "Dad, I feel like I do need to talk about it because we need to like make an apology and a retraction and just like a correction, basically."
It's a correction.
And he said, now my dad has offered, and we are going to take him up on this. He would love to come onto this podcast and talk about what it's like to be an alcoholic and just kind of share some about that because he thinks it could really help some people. And he said he would have more things to talk about, the Bill W side of it. And I was like, cool. Then that's how I knew that like it didn't need to be a secret or something that we shouldn't share.
Okay. Well, this was enlightening. When Lauren sent that text, I could not believe it and immediately sent it to you.
Yeah.
But you know what's, it's so great that they do it because I was thinking through it and I was like, when you are on a cruise ship, you are stuck in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
When you're traveling anywhere else in the world, you can find that meeting anywhere globally, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the ocean, those cruise ships, I don't know if it's a mandate that they have to have those. I don't know who decides, but it's like, yeah, these folks, like, they're not on dry land. So they are going to need somewhere to go to have their people to talk to.
To have dry land. They're not on dry land, but they're trying to stay dry.
That's it. But also, cruise ships, like, it's a party. It is drinking. It is gambling. It is smoking. I mean, it's a lot. And I could understand that would be a triggering place for someone.
Absolutely. And the other thing about it, like the other thing that I feel like we're not spilling too much tea is anyone can Google this. Like if you Google who are the Friends of Bill W or what does Bill W mean, it will come right up and say exactly what it is. So this is more, obviously don't exploit it. Don't be like, oh, next time I'm on a cruise ship, I'm going to go to the Friends of Bill W. No, dude, in here. Like no one should do that. Do not do that. That is like low brow.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I don't think any of our podcasts would. And so I can rest in that as well. But we now know we were not obviously trying to joke. We were making fun of ourselves that here Bill W can get a private room, but your girls can't.
Yeah.
So props to the Bill W's and to the people who take advantage of the program. AA is wonderful. Truly saved my father's life. And so you will hear more about that when we interview my dad. He wants to share things, and I think it will be a super impactful episode. Bless you. And it might, help people maybe feel less alone. I'm sure that we have sober podcasts listening to us, and they will absolutely love to hear that. Or maybe people who are struggling with an alcohol addiction and need to hear from someone who has gone on to lead a fun, great, party-filled life, even without it.
That's right. And I think also just as moms, I think I've heard from plenty of friends or people in my circle that, they worry about their kids and what they're exposed to. And of course, you can't fully put your kids in a bubble and prevent them from experiencing things. But I don't know. I just think the more information we have, the better armed we are to guide our kids in the best way.
Yes. And it's important to hear. So those are my two things that I had the messy jersey, that I somehow ended up with the white bag of goodies. And Friends of Bill W does mean Alcoholics Anonymous. And we are dum-dums as per usual. Could have just Googled a light Google search.
But why would we ever think to Google? Again, the graphics, what it was giving was that this was a private event for a family reunion, let's say, or a 70th birthday party. How would we know?
How would we know? How are you going to know?
I don't know. Okay, so I'll do my two things, honestly, can be somewhat related. Well, so one is just that Matthew Timmerman has done everything in this home for like 3 weeks straight. Yeah. And I just have to give him a shout out and I told you that I had talked to him. Y'all know, you remember last fall. Matt was getting sick back to back to back, and he would think he had tuberculosis. He would think that he had meningitis. He would Matt was on Dr. Google, and he was diagnosing himself, and should not have been, but that was becoming frustrating to me, because as a woman, I think we want to fix things. So we say, okay, you're going to take this medicine, you're going to take 2 days of rest, you're going to do this, and that's how we get better, right? And Matt just doesn't take those instructions. He wants to power through. So I was definitely giving him a hard time last fall, you remember.
Yeah, I do.
So this fall is coming, and I sit on this bed every year, and I'm like, babe, before cold and flu season kicks in, let's talk about wellness. Okay. And I give him a very kind, it was not judgy, but it was just like, okay, what vitamins are we doing? What supplements can I give you? Let's talk about, if we start to not feel good, you have to let me know so I can give you the Orega Max immediately. Like, these are all the witchcraft.
Our bouquets of all the oils.
Yeah. So we have this whole talk, and 1 week later, I fall ill. Right in the midst of Halloween party, planning for cruise, everything. I get very, very, very sick. So y'all, leading up to the cruise, I was unwell, very unwell. Thankfully, I turned a corner right before the cruise. I'm able to go to Disney. I can do all the things. Matt is at home holding it down. We get back from the cruise. I am just drained from the cruise, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But
we get back on a Monday, and you're about to turn around and leave for Greenbrier on a Friday to Monday again.
Yes, another Friday to Monday. So we have a few days together, but life is crazy. It's hectic. I turn around, I leave, I go to Greenbrier. I come back from Greenbrier very sick again. Very, very sick again this past Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday were really bad. I was barely moving. I'm doing all the brews and potions I can. Nothing is working. And this man has done it all. So I do think I brought this on myself. I think that I
karma you felt like?
I think it was.
For the come to Jesus on the supplements and vitamins, and what are we gonna do when you get sick? And then the Lord was like, we're gonna humble you a little.
I felt very humbled. And I said that to Matt, and I said, you know what? I think God said, we're not only gonna humble you, but we're gonna show you how you need to be when your man is going to be sick or injured or whatever, because he's got to take real good care of you for the next 3 weeks while you're traveling and doing all this stuff and also sick. And so I'm eating crow a little bit, and I have acknowledged that to Matt, and I have said, when you are sick, tell me, and I will be the best nurse.
Yes.
So shout out to Matt. You're the best. But my second thing, and I've been so excited to share, is the Amazon antibiotics. Okay.
Oh, right. You told me that you were ordering these on Amazon. Yeah. And I was like, you good? This is what we're doing? Because you have access to many doctors, PAs, nurses, all the things, but you decided to circumvent the entire process and just go straight to Amazon. I'm sure your cousin's going to love hearing this.
I know, y'all. Okay, so Leanna, our doctor, is listening, but here's the deal. And again, RFK, if you're listening, fix the healthcare in this nation, because here's the truth of it. Our health insurance is astronomical. It is our biggest bill every month.
Bigger than a mortgage. I need y'all to hear that. It's that high.
Ours is very high. When you are self-employed, your health insurance will be bigger than a mortgage, and it is. Okay, so it's our biggest bill. So not only that, if I were to go see
Sickening.
It's sickening.
It's crazy. It's deplorable, and people should be livid about this.
Yes, and we
Livid.
need change. We need change. And so if I were to even go see Leanna, who of course is very capable and would help me and diagnose all the things, I'm going to get a bill where after Blue Cross has done next to nothing, I'm going to get a bill for $150 for seeing her. Okay. Then I'm going to have to pay for the prescription, all of that.
Yep.
You can also go to your Amazon account and say, start a health meeting or start a health journey, whatever. So you go through, you answer the questions, you say, I'm not feeling well, here's my symptoms, blah, blah, blah. They want a picture of the back of my throat. And I was a little bit like, who's storing tomatoes? But whatever. I don't even care.
I'm desperate. I gotta get on a cruise ship in T-minus 12 hours, and I gotta get I gotta get an antibiotic.
So I send them a picture of my throat. Go through. I pay $30. It was $30.
That's basically your copay.
Yeah, that's my copay. And they shoot over the prescription, a generic, over to CVS. That cost me next to nothing. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm getting well. I am telling y'all, if you have a crappy health insurance situation like I do, please get on Amazon. Now, they can't treat every little thing. Certain things you got to be in person. But for them to be able to prescribe an antibiotic, I feel like that's a big deal.
That's incredible. I truly didn't know that Jeff Bezos had gotten his doctorate and had somehow managed to make this possible, but won't he do it? And, won't he do it? And that's the fellowship we're always talking about. When we speak of fellowship and won't he do it, we do mean Jeff Bezos starting the antibiotic program on Amazon. And so that's another friendly PSA to the podcasts, which we are full of today.
Today we are full of hot tips. I think it is her story. We are changing the world today with this episode, whether that's Bill W., Diet Coke Crack Charms, Amazon antibiotics, Addison Rae Diet Pepsi. Like we are, I mean, how much more good information can we give y'all?
Are people truly learning from us? I do want to know that because I listen to podcasts and I learn so much from them. I've told y'all about how I built this. I've told you about even the toast with pop culture. Like there are things that are not showing up in my algorithm that I did not know. And I want to know those things. So I'm just curious, like, are people learning things from us? Because I feel like we're giving so much.
We are giving so much. Any piece of information in our brains, we are sharing it here. I mean,
and there's so much still to go.
So many folds. So much to uncover.
Well, especially on my stomach. When you're searching for a tiny appendectomy scar, am I right, you guy? Am I right? Those receipts, I think that this will be the best batch of receipts that we've ever had is from, last week's, which is, it's a current new week and we're in the future and in the past and it's all confused. So scratch what I just said. It will make sense when it comes out.
I do love that we said we were going to give y'all a short episode, and this has been an hour long. So, wow.
Right. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
This is all that to say. We literally can't help ourselves because we do always have just so much to say.
So much to say, but our throats will only allow so much. So let's wrap this up. Let's get on to the WOW Awards. So, to be continued.
As we continue, ding, 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 bye.